Hey guys, my name is Juan Guadarrama. I'm a strength coach at Sorta HQ. And in today's episode, we talk about going through crucible and staying in the fight, staying in the trenches to become a better person.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm great.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Thank you for coming. You're here, but your mind's got to be somewhere else right now, man. You're about to have baby number 2?
Yeah, a little bit.
How excited are you?
I am super excited. The first time around, you kind of don't know what's going on. So I had my first child at 23.
Yeah.
Just turned 30 on the 1st, days ago.
Happy belated, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, literally just a few days ago.
A few days ago. But the evolution of growing up and being through what we've developed with our first child and the love, also the relationship between us growing together. This second child, every time we think about it, I'm like, dude, I cry inside every single time. The concept of my child holding my other child blows my mind.
Damn.
Blows my mind.
2 sons.
Two sons.
You're going to have your second son coming into the world.
Yes.
And we're going to definitely get into the full story here, man. But someone like yourself that has, at 30 years old, been through so much, put yourself through so many different crucibles of mental testing, physical testing. You've got to have some kind of idea of what you want to pass on already to your sons, right? Like the lessons that you've learned in just 30 really short years on earth.
Yeah. It's kind of what has based everything that I do professionally.
Yeah.
Like my son in being a family man. So the thing when everyone asks me, hey, what do you do? Well, first I'm a husband, a father, and a coach. Like those are the hats that I wear. And my actions are based off how I can help in those hats.
Okay.
Or better improve in those hats. And I've kind of I for sure have made my brand and the brand of the gym based on core principles. And if it doesn't fit that, we're not doing it.
What are those principles?
Like growth, personal growth. And we have the gym, which I can teach you how to squat. That's a given. That's already in the bag.
I've seen you. And actually, no, I think when I was there training you were deadlifting, I think. So I can't attest to the squat, but no doubt the deadlift is on point, man.
My squat is way more on point than my deadlift, but I'm like, oh, that's an easy one. I can teach you that. The next one is like, okay, what's going on inside your brain? Why do you not have the things that you want already? Why are you not happy?
Yeah.
And do you even know why you're doing the behaviors that you're doing? So those are like the secondary things. Those are the things that are gonna slow down progress at the gym as well. And I've been able to find happiness and success because my actions line up with my core values. So growth is one of them.
Okay.
Contribution is another one, contributing to the community. So like if it's, let's say, for example, something that maybe I'm not getting paid for, but is this action going to help? I'm for sure down for it. And then the last one is like autonomy, freedom to be able to do this, freedom to do things that I want to do, freedom to, and you'll know this once you have your child at some point, is like, I want to go hang out with my child and it's at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday. I want to have the freedom and the right to I'm going to my child's classroom right now because I want to go see him sing happy birthday to someone.
I want that.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing that matters. Screw everything else.
Truly.
So I've tricked people to coming to the gym to do some badass workout or whatever. Yeah. But then with the trust that I gained from them, from me coaching them on the physical side, I try to figure out how to mentally get into their brain. And I know the happiness I've been able to achieve for myself. I want that for others, especially in 2020.
Yeah.
Like, dude, come on.
How have you been doing that? I mean, I know from my days in kind of that coach-client relationship, the physical aspect is there. Like you said, I can teach you how to squat. I can teach you how to do all these things. But when you need to get into here, that's the tricky part. Have you found 2020 to be easier to connect with people mentally? Has it been more of a barrier? Like, what's really been your secret sauce to like finally make that connection for people this year?
So like the first thing that comes to mind is I first need to take care of myself. And those, again, go back to my core values.
Right.
So the first thing is, if I'm continuing to grow and learn, so like one of the first things I did is I dove into cognitive behavior therapy. Like just deep.
Deep,
right?
For sure.
And like thought patterns and behavior, and why you're thinking this way, all those things. So I'm like, okay, if I can do that for myself, I am happy. I also like to teach, so I can kind of pass that along.
Okay.
The other ones are, I have a family at home. Having a family at home, it just makes everything easier, because everyone that the most important people that I love are right here.
That support system is boom.
That support system, and me and my wife enjoy being around each other. We've worked hard to have that relationship, and the same thing with my child. I love messing around with him and play fighting and playing Monopoly and playing Uno and playing video games and that camaraderie, because I know it's building that trust. So when we hit those middle school years and those high school years, hopefully we have that channel to like, hey, dude, let's talk.
Yeah.
To maybe some of us, or in older times, that dad-son relationship wasn't as open. Or just like the lack of education as well.
Good point. Yeah,
truly.
know,
A recent thing that has come to mind, just becoming a dad and being more interested in like where I'm coming from. Like, I was talking to my dad on Father's Day, and just realizing, like, dude, my parents migrated here, so I'm first gen here.
From where?
Mexico.
Okay.
And realizing that my grandparents didn't know how to read and write.
Wow.
And we're just 2 generations away, and we're like, dude, how am I here right now? What is going on?
Like, I shouldn't be, right?
This is super dope.
Yeah.
And you like have to like look at that timeline to appreciate it. And then just like looking back at your family evolution.
Truly.
And I'm like excited for my son to like, dude, you are having such a far head start.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for what you can bring into the world.
Damn.
You know? So special moments of that, that.
Yeah. I mean, looking at your past, I mean, you literally can look at your past, your present, and your future. I think that's one of the coolest things that I'm really looking forward to when it comes time for me to be a father, is like that's the future. That's your future.
Yes.
Would you say that having children has made you more aware, more conscious, more planning for the future, or has it kind of done the opposite? Has it made you be more mindful of your past and how far you have come in your family? Does that question make sense?
Yeah. Because of my past is kind of how I set up my behavior and how I treat my child. Sorry.
Okay.
Like a silly example, and this is common in the Latino community too, where you get in trouble, you get smacked, like belt smacked. Yeah. And when you're younger, you're like, yo, well, that's how I'm going to discipline my child. But then you grow up and you're like, yo, that's fucked up.
That shit was not cool, Dad.
That doesn't make sense. That means I'm messing up, right? Because everything's a reflection of you. Like, why are you not understanding that? I need to be pissed at myself. Or how are you not understanding that?
Yeah.
So that like realizations like that, like, what do I want your outcome to be? I kind of have to trick you with my behavior to get the outcome that I want from you. Right?
It really is a trick.
Yeah. You're just manipulating him to get with the response that you want. Like
for a positive outcome.
Positive outcome.
Absolutely, yeah.
I call it like forward behavior or positive outcome. And I was like, I'm really interested because yours is ever forward and mine's similar forward behavior. Like, what is keeping you from forward behavior?
There we go, baby. There we go.
And if it's not there, if it's stopping you, what can we fix or help give you the tool? Not necessarily fix, give you the tool so you can make forward progress. But anyways, tricking my child and just knowing how boys are very competitive, kind of don't back down from challenges. And if you hear if it's a challenge, like, you're probably going to step up to the plate. Like we'll do simple stuff to homework where I kind of treat it like a workout, like a WOD. Hey, dude, we crushed this homework right here. We crushed this workbook right here.
Coach Dad,
we are free to go play.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need to tap in. We need to focus. And if you were watching, you're like, outsiders were watching, you're like, I don't know, it's a little aggressive. So I remember little stuff like we're practicing letters. And like, okay, hey, you need to focus. You need to make these letters look good.
Yeah.
Look good meaning you got to trace the lines. And if you don't make them look the same size, that is not good work. Right, you need to put effort for it to be good work.
It's not the potential it could be.
Right.
Yeah.
So giving immediate feedback to where, hey, yo, your letter B looks sharp, good. Next one, yo, your letter, and this comes from having that baseline relationship. Your A looks like trash, dude. You need to erase it and do it over. That's terrible. Come on.
Your A form is terrible.
It's bigger. The lowercase a is bigger than the uppercase B. How's that possible? You need to fix it.
Yeah.
But just being on top of him and making it a competition to like, all right, I need you to focus. Maybe it's a little aggro, but you get the job done and tricking him into getting the outcome that you want. So the little stuff that you learn.
You could be talking about, your kid. You could be talking about your clients here. That's truly, when you're trying to, I would say, influence human behavior or help, I should say, use your words here, Chase. Let's think about this. When you want to help someone get to an outcome that you know that they want and you're there to help facilitate, you kind of got to get, aggro, I guess, sometimes, or, the whole role of a coach, as a mentor, or a dad, I think, is to help people realize, correct me if I'm wrong, help people realize, hey, this is why we're here. This is the work that we're here to do. This is the goal that we're working towards. And it's going to be some wavy lines to get to A to Z, but, we're going to get there.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's doing little tricks like that. Another funny one, I think if you have a boy, you'll enjoy this.
Okay.
I don't know if it will work with girls, but we were potty training and since boys can stand up and he was peeing himself too often.
Okay.
Like, all right, we got to figure out something else. This is not working. And then I was a little high and I was like, dude, I have the best idea. Lucas, pee challenge. Meaning we both go to the restroom at the same time. You whip it out.
Oh, wow.
First one to hit water wins.
Gamification, baby.
So then, So then every time he needed to pee, he goes, Dad, pee challenge. We immediately go run. So he stopped peeing his pants.
Whatever works, man. Yeah.
And I was like, yo, this is a genius idea. So there's no book for that. You just got to kind of come up on the fly for the outcome that you want.
For sure. For sure. So much of this stuff with parenting, and I know another big part of your world is coaching is, you have kind of your foundation, but it is very on the fly.
Yeah.
Each client, each moment, each kind of session with the client, with your kid, you don't have sessions with your kid. It's called parenting. But it is very on the fly. And something we were talking about earlier was something that helps you be more capable when you're on the fly, to pull from those foundations, to pull from those principles is like you've gone through stuff. And we were talking specifically as men, typically in a lot of cultural scenarios and just history, we tend to go through crucibles.
Yes.
We're pushed off to war. We're pushed into the military. We're pushed into farming the soil, the second we can stand up kind of things. And you went through your own OCS and Quantico in the Marine Corps and myself in the Army. What was that crucible like? What was that test of manliness, of mental fortitude, of physical fortitude like for you?
I think in the beginning, like when you first get to boot camp, it's culture shock for a bit. And you're like, what am I getting myself into? But luckily, I've been playing high level soccer. So then you get those coaches that are on your butt.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're used to getting yelled at. And then after like a week or two of boot camp, you figure out, all right, there's just a game. I got to figure out the system. They're not really after me. And you got to figure out.
They want you to succeed.
They want you to succeed. But also like.
They're just assholes about it.
Dude, well, actually, I don't want you to make it if you're going to get me killed.
True.
Get out, dude.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my personality and my coaching style of like, I'm in that old school, grimy, discipline type of coach.
Okay.
I know I'm not for everyone. That's fine. We all kind of have different tastes, but I was kind of getting used to that. And you need to like realize it's not personal. I'm not going to die. Also, the worst thing that happens, I'm gonna die. All right, chill. I can if I can get over that concept. I know it sounds weird.
If I'm gonna die, chill.
If I can get over that concept, I can operate.
Okay,
I can let it go, so I can just be in the moment. So you learn to be in the moment. You learn to start to get how to manage pain and suffering. It's like you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're tired, you're sleep deprived. You haven't seen a woman in months. All these things. Your friends, you haven't talked to your friends. You have no phone. You got these stinky guys.
Plucked out of your norm.
You plucked out of your norm. You're doing pull-ups in front of this guy that's pooping right behind you because that's the only place to do pull-ups in the bay. So at some point you get comfortable, and I don't know because of that or because of sports. I like being in the trenches.
In the suck.
In the suck. Like that's what I love to do. I'm a weirdo like that, but I think that also is what makes me a good coach.
Okay.
Like
How
that.
so?
In that I'm just comfortable in that, and I can help guide other people when they're in that. And I kind of really don't care for the end result. So if you've seen kind of my history of stuff, I get to the end point, and then I look around and I kind of just walk away. Because
you mean like crossing a finish line? And
crossing it's like playing a sport. So if I was training you for soccer or a race, you either did the work or you didn't. You were either already going to be successful or you were not going to be successful.
Okay.
Right. So I like the grimy day to day. Today's training day is what matters.
Okay.
That end day, it's already too late. It's already kind of determined for you.
Yeah.
So I kind of I did that for the military. So going back I went to OCS during the summers of college. Then after college, I studied entrepreneurship, didn't accept my commission, started personal training. My son was about to be born, freaked out, got my EMT license in a month, was working on an ambulance, got to that, quit that, became a strength coach. I forgot quitting soccer. I was playing D1 LMU soccer, quit my freshman year because I was all right, over it. So this cycle of I get to the thing that I wanted and then I just kind of dip, then realize I kind of have these skills to do hard things. I think I can help other people do hard things as well and then send them off.
Okay.
I realized that at some point.
Okay.
And that's kind of why I continue to do that. It fulfills me. Like we train at 4 a.m. 5 times a week. We haven't missed in, I don't know, 3-4 years.
Damn, man.
Like today we squatted.
Wow.
And we did a little bit of strict press.
I've been woken up that early to work out since
I didn't think I was
my platoon sergeant made me.
I didn't ever think I was going to wake up at that time anymore.
Yeah.
That's just part of my soul.
Okay.
It's just this warrior being in the mix. It's just part of my being.
Yeah.
And I kind of like, I need that. And that's also what I feel is like my gift to those around me of like, I'm going to be a staple for you. You know, I'm going to be there and I'm not going to miss. I will be there for you, a pillar in your life to where maybe you're trying to find some sort of balance or base. And that's kind of what I see my role is in as a coach and as a person.
Yeah.
You know? So I enjoy and I love the suck of it.
Embrace the suck, baby. That's something we're probably both used to hearing a lot.
Yeah.
You said a key word, warrior. And I as we were talking before we were recording, I kept just getting this concept of like that word. And you just said it. And warrior is a very, I think, kind of a clear term when we're talking about, like I said earlier, sending the men off to war, to go to the military, just leaving the coop kind of thing. Like that's really the ultimate testament of a warrior. In so many cultures and history is you go off, you get tested, and you come back. And it's not just that you completed that thing, but it's what you learned from that thing. Mm-hmm. Like you're just saying, the finish line didn't really matter, right? I crossed the finish line, I did the thing, and I realized that's not what I'm after. That's not my being. That's not my identity.
Yeah.
How would you kind of say that this warrior mentality is your identity. It's what you kind of bring to the table. And how do you kind of interpret that term warrior in this modern age?
A lot of it comes from, as we were talking earlier, I'm fortunate to be around a lot of people, so I get to observe a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because I'm a father to a dad, and I still coach soccer, and it's mostly boys. And I knew how I was as a guy, just had a lot of energy, but had some direction, but I think could have used more direction. And I view, and I sometimes get sad and am worried. You can imagine is like what world am I sending my child into? And I can see the struggles that teenagers go through nowadays that I don't remember maybe us having.
Like what?
Like the way I grew up, like people would get in fights. You had a conflict with someone, you are going to fist fight. After that fight, there's a mutual respect. That doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah.
Or the, how do I say this carefully? There's a lot of sadness and depression. Some of it, yes, I agree that it's mental and there's a chemical imbalance. Mm-hmm. Some of it, from my observation, is just like we don't have that direction and fire anymore. Times have just changed, and that's why I'm like, dude, we don't go through crucibles anymore. Mm. So if I can win over some trust, and this is kind of where send better men and what we were talking about with Ben that we've done podcasts in the past with, I think I'm fortunate to be around boys that I can kind of influence them to also be warriors. Responsibility, meaning that you can show up as a professional human being in sport, as a friend, as a student, as a boyfriend, as a husband, and kind of also breaking stereotypes of a young Latino male of all the things that I was not supposed to accomplish.
I'm sure.
Being a young dad, staying with your spouse, going to school, reaching pretty high heights on different career paths that I've
talking about your feelings and emotions.
Talking about feelings and emotions, and not thinking less of someone, and normalizing, hey, let's talk to each other. Chase, I need some help. Right? And maybe there might be a day, hey, dude, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking less of you or you of me. It's more respect, because I know this guy's in my tribe and we can go out into the world and change other people's lives. So I'm very pro, let's make better men, because if women are encountered by better men, they will also be treated better. You can still be a badass. You can still ride motorcycles. You can still be a bro and lift weights. You can still smoke weed, but you can still be an upright citizen. You can still stand for something.
Mic drop right there, man, for sure.
And if your friend's being a fucking asshole, tell him. Don't be a shitty friend. Why are you being a soft friend? Like, that's not a real friend. So, like, if you want to be friends with me, don't come with some fake ass rapper shit. If you're going to be a father, and like, yo, your child needs some stern disciplining and letting him know he messed up or she messed up. But it's coming out of love and letting them understand why you messed up. So sometimes Lucas messes up and I need to let him feel like, yes, he's going to cry a little bit. But the beautiful thing that comes back, like 30 seconds later, he comes back and he's like, hey, yo, I'm sorry I messed up. Can we continue playing? Yes, we can continue playing. Don't take it personal. Yeah. Let it go. In the world, in the workplace, what I see right now, soft.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're soft.
Yeah.
And I think if we can stand for things and have core values, we can be happier and know what we're fighting for. Like a really good example is like the looters. Like, dude, what are you guys doing?
Recent months,
Are you kidding me? Like some of these actions that are supposed to be positive, these side actions.
Taking advantage and crossing a line.
Like, dude, that's not helpful. Yeah. And I'm a Latino male. Like, trust me, I'm up for the whatever fight. But you start with you.
Exactly.
And the people around you. One of the most proud things I have right now is the diversity I have in my gym.
Yeah.
You look around and you're like, how are you guys all hanging out? It is beautiful, dude. It makes me happy every day.
Yeah, man, you're lighting up.
It makes me happy every day. And especially what we talked about earlier is like, oh, these are like really new people to fitness. This makes me so excited. Yeah. All right, so this is protein, these are carbs, and these are fats.
Here are the basics. Let's transform your life.
It's super sick. And just having those basic conversations again is you forget, right? And it means something.
It does. It means a lot. But finding that meaning is so important. And like we were talking earlier, you gotta go through stuff to really find meaning in things that you're going through, to find meaning of your own self. You said earlier that you don't really know, or you question the level to which, people are going through our crucibles this day and age. Do you think it's because there are more ways to not go through stuff? Like the modern age, technology, there are more easy ways out, more options to not have to go through struggle, to not have to go through sacrifice and the pain and the discomfort to kind of get to an end result? Or do you think people are just kind of consciously choosing to not go through?
That's a hard one. I think for sure there's a bypass.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. That's really kind of my question.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a bypass. I look at like my child's life, and he goes to privileged school. Like where are you going to go through something tough, dude? I'm trying to, so I kind of have to very carefully and out of love artificially sometimes create that.
Yeah, because you probably don't. I mean, you want the world for your kid, and you want the world for your family and friends.
But he doesn't have the tools. He's not going to have the tools.
You don't want to put them into the danger and the struggle, but like you want them to go through it because you know what that means and what that's going to translate to.
Yeah.
How do you dance that line?
That's something that I think about often. And there's like goals of like, okay, there's a goal of mine that I really want to do at some point, and maybe you can help me and we can brainstorm about it, to where we get a house somewhere and we fill it up with 10 guys and girls, 17, 18 years old.
Okay.
And there goes Coach Juan waking him up at 3:30 a.m. We're going to go train. We're going to do something that is difficult, physically uncomfortable and mentally uncomfortable. We train, whatever. We come back. Maybe you give them a talk on some mindset, or we story tell based on someone else's experience.
I'm liking where this is going already.
Right. And also at the same time, use all the things that we know about training. So we teach them about breath and the physiological things that happen. Well, yeah, why do you feel like dog shit? Your breathing is way off. Why do you feel foggy in the afternoon? Look at the stuff that you've eaten. Maybe we bring Amanda and we teach them about how to cook your own food.
Just fundamental nutrition.
Just fundamental stuff in general.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to take a nap. You guys can play video games for the next 2 hours, or you can sleep. I would suggest sleeping, because in 2 hours from now, Coach Juan's coming back, or someone else, and we're going to go train again.
Yeah.
And then in the evening, maybe we start shutting down. Maybe we start to journal. Maybe we do a round table. Maybe we talk about stuff. When we do this for like a month.
Wow.
We artificially create this. Or a dream of mine, like, hey, going to OCS and declining your commission is a perfect example of like, make it, nothing bad happens.
Right. Yeah.
You can opt out, but test yourself. Find ways that you're going to test yourself. And I try to use my story as an example of like, I continue to do that. I opened a gym during COVID, walked away from a salary while having a second kid, and my wife quit working.
So clearly you're crazy.
Let's go. And I did this the first time as well.
Damn, man.
But I feel very comfortable. I'm not stressed about it at all, because I've done all those things multiple times, and now I trust my skill set to be able to do it.
That's it right there. All right. So that's something that anybody who hasn't gone through any struggle, their own crucible, that's usually the blockade, is that they have no reference point. And, we had to start from somewhere. So how do you effectively communicate to somebody that you need to go through this, you need to do this, and then you're going to have your reference point. Then you're going to know the value out of this. Nobody comes out just knowing all the things, right? So how do you, what you just talked about, that model, that household model literally was incredible. Like someone walks in your gym and like they're that new client, and they're there for the physical change, but you also know that you're going to need to tap into the mental and the emotional and the spiritual as well. How do you get them to realize without ever going through that before?
Right now, I'm kind of doing it with the younger athletes that come. We created this thing, study hall. So, because they're all doing virtual stuff.
Right.
Hey, we're going to meet. I'm going to tell you a story about something. I'm going to teach you something, whether it's a mindset thing or not, or we're just going to study together. Right. So a lot of the studying that I'm doing is breath work and making like studying, continuing to learn, like be cool, like normalize that. Like you guys don't, getting them to understand like all these. I put a library in the gym for that purpose.
No shit.
I've read all these books. I continue to read.
Wow.
Reading is cool. I got here because I've been reading and just like getting them to understand because they're like, I don't want to read this. This
Imagine
is
this
bullshit.
in between squats, you know, your sets, you're just like, instead of scrolling aimlessly, you're like reading, you know, the 4-Hour Work Week or 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
We have that. We have the Jocko books. We have a Jordan, like all the
Huge,
starting
man.
strength. We got Logan's Going Right book, the Mindset by Carl Dweck, all these books in there. Kind of asking and building, and this is kind of where emotional intelligence kicks in. Just being around people and where they're at and sensing their energy, and kind of looking at pockets to where, hey, Chase is starting to trust me. Let me grab him.
Yeah.
Right? For the kids right now is, I understand that you don't like the subject and you don't like school. Those two things are irrelevant. It's mostly a test. Can you do that simple thing? Because if I'm trying to hire you right now and I'm going to base your work ethic on your grades, are you hireable right now?
Be honest.
That's the first test, dude.
Yeah, true.
You need to pass that test or hijack. The syllabus is your cheat sheet. Learn what's on the syllabus and you're done. That is the cheat sheet. But the other side is, so they have me. So I think if we're like launching this into the world, and maybe there's someone that's listening, look for mentors. I look for mentors, whether it's direct or non-direct. Whether I listen to a podcast, like when I drive, all I do is listen to podcasts. Indirectly,
audiobooks, absolutely.
Right? Audiobooks. I love Audible.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can drive, you don't have to sit down, the physical thing. So it's sped up my reading.
Audible's incredible. You can literally do like, you know, 1.5x, 2x.
Yes.
You know,
and you get good at listening.
Yeah.
You get good at listening.
Absolutely, man.
I created this mindset, mental performance model. And one of the things is emulate people that you look up to. So say you look up to LeBron. I don't like that example.
Anybody looks up to him. The dude's tall as hell, but
copy the things that they do.
Yeah.
Do it. Make it difficult. Try to. If school is the hardest thing that you're doing, make it difficult by trying really hard. Just try really hard and see what you get out of it. Okay, that's easy. Fine. Let's add training to it. And I tell them I'm not ever gonna ask you anything that I don't do. So if you look at my day, I post that I wake up at 3:30.
True testament of a great leader, by the way, I say.
Every day. You see my videos that I worked out. I train a class before you show up. You see me study at the gym or doing gym stuff, graphics or marketing, whatever. You see it firsthand. And then I go home, not to chill, but now I got to parent and be a dad. And you see my child and you see my wife. You see all the things that I'm doing. What is the hardest thing you've done today? And just put him on the spot. And they're like, oh, dude, you're not doing anything to get better.
Yeah.
If you don't want to try hard, I don't need your money. Get out.
Damn, man. Yeah.
And they're like, all right. And the beautiful thing that happens, no one backs down.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to crush you on purpose. I'm crushing you because I know that I have your trust and I have this responsibility to push you. Because you're not getting this anywhere else. I know this. And I kind of use myself as like, you know, I'm stronger than you, you know, and this is kind of the police thing as well. I don't know when you get into that, but like I have more power over you, so I have a responsibility to help you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if us two were police officers and we're gonna go arrest someone, dude, we should be able to use our skills.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have these massive skills.
Yeah. We should always be able to like assess and de-escalate. It shouldn't be a flex of the power and the authority and the knowledge.
Yes. No, it's the opposite thing.
Yeah. It's a de-escalation so that, again, like the military, but, you know, it should break people down in a way that is constructive so that you can teach them and they can rise to the occasion.
And and you be able to hold your own
Exactly.
ground. Yeah. It's long-winded. Come back to what
I love it, man.
What I do.
I want to go back to something you were talking about, another great kind of training modality. And this is, I think, just comes with the years and the reps, literally, of being a coach and putting yourself through the suck. You know that as much as putting yourself through stress, the sympathetic, taxing your system, how much of a result that can yield. You know along the way, because you're further along now, that we should be kind of integrating parasympathetic as well. We should be running high. We should also be, do the yin and the yang.
Yes.
And you're saying that you integrate breath work into some of your training sessions. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I'm starting to.
What's the reasoning behind that?
Well, we have that program at Douche Gym with Kimmy Moss. And she spent time living with Laird Hamilton and Gabby.
Okay.
So she brought that to Deuce.
Is that the XLT?
XPT.
XPT, yeah.
Right. And so we brought a sauna and ice to the gym as well as breath work.
Right.
So my interest kind of peaked there. And now that I got my own facility, I truly believe this is going to be normalized in 5 years. It's like, why were we not doing this before?
I believe it, yeah.
And you got
You heard it here first.
Where I've been studying it from is Brian McKenzie.
Okay.
Power, Speed, and Endurance. I don't know if you know him, but
I recognize the name, not super familiar with the content, but I know the name.
Yeah, so he's a strength coach, so it's like relatable. Like you do the thing that I do as well. And one of the greatest examples that he put on there is, what is the thing that we can go without the least? Oxygen and breathing. Number one. If we're messing that up, how are we supposed to process water and food? So the next thing we can go without least is water and then food. So if we're parasympathetic or whatever state that we're in for too long of time, either way is bad, right? We should be able to go either way. And I think of that as training. You should be good at high intensity and low intensity, right? They benefit both.
Yeah.
How are we going to be able to break down food and transport all that into our muscles or wherever we need them to go if we're already off? And we can easily see this with people walking around. Well, not right now, but with their mouth open from people not being able to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep apnea. How people condition.
The masks are hiding all the.
They're hiding all our imbalances right now.
Yeah.
So what I've been starting to do is the thing that the way I view it, right, is let's do parasympathetic, regulate that, cool, warm up.
Yeah.
Let's go sympathetic also, let's run the engine, and let's do breath holds to kind of normalize it as well.
Interesting.
Just long story short, right?
Yeah.
It's like we should do strength training and we should do conditioning.
Yeah.
We need to have all the gears. Right. So it's like, let's get good at all of them is my stance. Right. And I've been putting it into practice when I drive to the gym as I'm getting there. And we kind of already do this when we go, especially in the morning at the gym, when we power lift, you go for a big lift.
Right.
What do you do? What do you hear bros do when they lift heavy? They brace, they're breathing, all these things, they're breathing because there's a physiological thing that's happening in your body and in your brain because you're fighting for this rep.
Yep.
But now we're putting science into it. And
I love what you just said right there. Just hit me. You're fighting for that rep.
Right, because
the warrior mentality, man.
You're fighting for that rep.
You gotta earn
and that's why I love powerlifting, because you don't go to the meet. You either did the work or you didn't. There's no chance to it. It's not like sport.
Yeah.
Sport, there's chance, and there's all these other things. You either did the volume of work and your CNS is adapted or did not. It's a boring, brutal sport. And that is exactly why I love it. There's nothing that's going to happen. No magic thing that's going to happen.
It is or it isn't.
Yes.
It was or it was not.
So it's super cool. And learning how to bring your engine down. So I run high all day. I'm up. Probably too much caffeine is the thing that I struggle with. And I've been diving more into this because in order for me to be of help to others and be a father and a husband, I need to come down. I need to rest. Otherwise, I'm just passed out more.
I agree.
Right?
It's a need.
It's a need.
It is a need.
And I know that if I don't get it, I get irritable. My workflow is lower. Creativity goes down. I notice that. And you start feeling like you're in the rat race.
Yeah, you're just spinning your wheels.
I'm like, dude, no.
Yeah.
So the thing that I probably learned the last couple of years is I need to come down. I need to hide. I need to go away. I've become a very big fan of walks. Just leave your phone at home. My child and my wife is here. I don't need anyone else.
Yeah.
I will check my phone when I come back. And so I can come back into the gym the full Juan.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's otherwise I'm doing a disservice to everyone.
You're showing up, but you're half-assing.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you can show up to a situation, to your clients, to your family, to you, to the day, and you know that, 100% of you is there, I mean, nothing beats that.
Yeah.
You're Superman, you're Superwoman.
So breathing has been helping with that. And also I suck at meditating. I don't know how good you are at it, but like it's difficult for me.
I walk. Walking's my meditation.
And like practicing in my breathing. And so like there's little stuff that I started to notice, like when I'm doing my slower breathing to slow myself down, like dude, my heart rate is up. Oh, my CNS is fried. Okay, I need to go steady today. It's a long day. Or like, yes, starting yesterday, I'm like, dude, I need to slow down because I'm going to go to this podcast and I want to be alert. It's my chance to talk about.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know what I mean? But
he's
there's
like totally prepping days out. That's awesome.
Yeah, but that's the difference.
That's a huge sense of awareness.
The detail and the difference where it might make someone follow me so I can continue to help them in that way versus not being prepared mentally and just being foggy and not being present right now.
Absolutely.
You know, and I've also learned that those are the differences that make your days worth it and your life worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I started my podcast so I can selfishly get to know people.
100%.
Right? Because now forever from this point on, we're going to be friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the most incredible way with the age old, hey, let's get coffee and pick your brain.
Yes.
It's, it's a coming together of minds. And I mean, don't even get me started, dude, on the power of this platform. But yeah, it's a connection component.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was laughing and I'm like, dude, we're, I guess all of us in health are kind of like this. When you and Amanda are like, y'all not really trying to go out and drink. I'm trying to go home and I'm trying to sleep. And I'm only really trying to have conversations like this.
Anytime anybody invites me to anything now, I'm like, I don't know. Like, that's really going to cut into my bedtime.
8 o'clock? Are you crazy? Do you not know what time I train? The plus of having kids is
I can't imagine yet.
Kids, kids. You can kind of just dip.
That's the out for everything.
That's I'm learning. For everything, dude. You just go kids and everyone's like, okay.
I should just start saying that and see if people pay attention. Like, wait. You don't have kids yet.
The cool thing is if you go hang out with other parents, it's a consensus like, yo, we're shutting this down at 5. Let's have dinner at 3 and call it a day. We're going home. We're chilling on the couch. You're just trying to rest. So I was dying when you guys were talking. I'm like, dude, I'm that person as well. I'm not really trying to. I drink like 3 times a year. And my birthday's one of them.
Yeah, so I'm sure a couple weeks ago, maybe you're partaking
a little bit.
So we got 1 out of 3 done for the year.
I like to wake up and do stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. I think you mentioned like, dude, I don't like to wake up hungover. It's a waste of a day.
Yeah, because you know what you're capable of.
Yes.
You know what good feels like, and you know what you're capable of. You know when you want more out of life, it no longer just has to be a want, because you can go get it. You can make it. You can create it. And
not to be like super negative. We're dying every day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to waste a day being hungover. I want to go do something tomorrow. I always have shit to do.
Yeah.
You don't have shit to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't ever get bored. Luckily, I don't get
2 days off this weekend for the first. I didn't open my laptop. I didn't post on social. I think I checked Instagram maybe twice. And to kind of keep the whole concept of the coming down. Dude, such a reset.
Yes.
I mean, and I kind of realized that I was even lying to myself. I was half-assing stuff that I always talk about for my own health and wellness, but always promote on my platforms. You got to calm down. You got to detach. You got to detox. You got to, parasympathetic to the sympathetic, yin to the yang. But every time that I was before that, 9 times out of 10, I was still working on my laptop. I was still posting shit.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to fully detach and come down and be
don't
present.
Do anything. Just don't do anything.
I didn't do shit for 2 days. I mean, also great. It was hot as balls this past weekend. But yeah, I was just on the beach. I was spending time with my wife. I was with my brother-in-law, like with family, my dog. And I just did the least.
Yeah.
And by doing the least, I came back Monday, felt like I could do the most.
Yeah. So there's a thing that you said in there, like you took the 2 days. And I think it's helpful because I used to be in the mindset of like planning the rest, like a Sunday or whatever.
Yeah.
You can also, for anyone that's listening, you can also like micro come down. It doesn't have to be like, there might be a couple hours, maybe today or tomorrow. It doesn't have to be a planned everyday thing and not like a weekly thing.
Okay.
It can be scattered.
Auto-regulate.
Yeah. So when you're like, you need to be, it takes time to be aware of where you're at, right? Because I might do it on a micro basis, like, hey, I got 3 sessions today. I need to take these next 30 minutes to do nothing, literally take a walk. Sometimes, though, I can't take a break for 3 days, but knowing that, like, hey, I'm in the fight, but that 4th day, like yours, is I need to come down.
Yeah.
So if it helps anyone, it's whenever the opportunity arises, take it. It doesn't have to be this, structured thing as well.
No, I agree. I like that.
Sometimes it's structured, sometimes it's not structured. That's just how life goes.
Yeah.
As well.
Auto-regulating life, man. So important. It's so important.
It's difficult because it takes a lot of awareness on yourself and knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Which is very difficult. It's taking me 30 years.
Yeah, I'm still getting to know myself. I'll be 35 next month. And like every day I'm like, shit, what's going on with Chase? You know?
And just knowing like, yo, I got to push today.
Yeah.
Or not push when those opportunities are there or not there. Like when you were training, well, we got clients this month. I'm taking all of them because I don't know what next month is. Or if like, hey, I'm chilling. Okay, maybe I've been working too much. I enjoy the money that I made. It's going to do no good sitting in the bank. Let me go do something. Let me go have an experience or something.
Absolutely, man.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of getting in this rat race.
You hit on something there too. I want to bring up another point of like you did something that not a lot of people probably did during this time. You kind of chips all in, right? I mean, you opened up a facility, you left a job. I mean, that's stressful. I remember doing that 4 years ago. And like I was building my new venture. I was exiting with a plan, not during a global pandemic, not during a lot of, I hate the most cliche word, these days is uncertainty.
Yeah.
How did you know? I mean, again, clearly you kind of have this warrior mentality, but like, how did you know that now's the time that I need to do this?
So I've tried a couple of times and there's been opportunities to where I've always wanted my own community.
Yeah.
And that comes from what we've been talking about. Start from scratch, start from zero. I was fortunate enough to be part of a beautiful professional leadership, challenging your adaptive qualities to become the best you at Deuce Gym. And that's what that place is. I spent from 2015, so 6 years there.
Wow.
I was the performance director when I left. I just felt that I needed to put myself through that to be fulfilled on my next jump. And so like, this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 years. Or I can keep cruising, and I started to feel comfortable at where I'm at. I do not like that at all. And I know that's kind of a dangerous trait of mine, but it's also my strength. I just have always wanted that challenge of building from zero. And last night I had a class of 24 people. I didn't know any of those people 3 weeks ago. It's nuts, insane. So it's just the opportunity, the correct opportunity was there. And this is where preparation meets the time. So luck.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
What's it? Luck isn't just blind. It happens when hard work meets opportunity, or preparation meets timing, something like that.
Yep. Yeah. So I have been prepping myself. Okay. So even the business side of it. So what do you do on like opening a business? You got to file. You got to deal with the city. Liability insurance. Equipment right now is insane. Knowing how to build it. If you can find it. Building a culture and community, and that all stems from your behavior and your words and how you carry yourself in your actions. How to, like, basics. How do you program multiple programs that are out in the world? The marketing part of it. All the things. I finally felt ready. All right, I got these on lock. It's my turn to kind of prove to myself. And to a different community. So Hawthorne is mostly Latinos and African Americans.
Okay.
To where I think about my mom, and since I'm bilingual and can speak Spanish, I'm like, yo, I need to use these skills to help kind of where I came from.
You're not just taking it for granted.
No.
Yeah, it's a gift. Yeah.
So there's that side of it. I'm like, how can I how can I be in an area that's a little bit more of a fitness desert? Santa Monica, Venice, we got a gym every half block. Where I'm at, there's not a lot of gyms. It's like we got Inglewood, we got Linwood, we got Compton's down the street, Hawthorne, obviously. There's this little pocket where it's starting to bubble because we got the Forum down the street and then the Ram Stadium down the street.
Okay, gotcha, yeah.
So that was also another thing that was pushing me forward. And I'm very proud to where we own the building and we own the business.
Oh man, congrats.
So it's very special for me.
Yeah.
Especially with, and my mom and I have a meal prep company as well.
Oh no shit.
So we're running these two
things.
things.
Is this mom's meal prep?
Meal prep
That's
mom.
you?
Yes,
oh
me.
Shit, yeah. I see Ben post it all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah. It's literally a mom.
It's my mom in the kitchen. It's my mom, my sister, and the high school friends.
Amazing, man.
So they're learning about business. They're learning how to make their own money. And they're helping my mom, and I get to interact with my mom even more on a daily basis because we're talking about all these things. And the gift of giving your mom stacks of cash is so dope. She's had to put up with so much of my shit.
Yeah, man.
So like
that's beautiful.
I can't be happier. Like I'm chilling,
dude. From like the second I met you, like coming in, like I mean we met before, but like so specifically today, like I can just tell where you are in life in so many ways is just like you can't hide it. It's coming through. Like the next season, I think you're stepping into. Like it seems you're very aware of it, but like dude, it's meant to be. It's there on every level. Not only for everything that you have earned and gone through, but you're not taking that for granted. You are now passing that off to other people. Your team, your employees, your mom, like everybody walking through that hires you. Like it's a learning experience. They're not just getting that thing they're here for today, but they're getting the years before. They're getting your crucible along with going through their own.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super fun. I can't be in contact with everyone. Like if we need a bunch of us, right?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes trainers or coaches or gym people are like, trying to like, oh, these are all my people. Dude, you can't train everyone. There's way too many people.
Good luck with that, yeah.
I don't want to fight that fight. I want to try to build more people that think like we do and are open for challenges and are always kind of testing ourselves and passing that along and in a loving, compassionate way, pushing your homie.
Yeah.
You know, and not allowing your friends to not live life at the fullest. Because I know what that feels like. I know how happy I am, and I want others to feel like that, especially in contrast and see what other people are going through with. I'm like, dude, I got nothing to complain about. Nothing to complain about.
I needed that.
Except that weights are $3 a pound. That's the only thing I'm going to
I got something to complain about supply and demand right now. That's about it.
Dude, there's some underground shit happening. I don't know if you're on the internet, but some underground shit happening.
It's wild.
Just driving all over the city. Like this guy's got this thing, and it's nuts.
I can only imagine. Dude, Juan, it's been so good having you on here, man.
Thank you.
And, like that last point you just said, I think is a great transition to my final question for everybody is, Everforward Radio. You'll probably appreciate this more. Actually, it has a really strong military background. Everforward was this mantra that my dad said and instilled in us our whole lives growing up. It's something that he lived through and set the example during an 18-month terminal illness. He passed away in 2005. But he actually picked it up from his time in the military. He picked it up from his crucible. His first unit, their creed was Everforward. It's on their distinguished unit insignia. It's been there since like the 1700s. And coming from a time when we were not even a country yet, of men picking up rifles and pitchforks and like defending and going through their crucibles hundreds of years later, now passing it on to a man that came home one day after boot camp and instilled it in me. And it's become my entire purpose now. So my whole platform, my whole purpose for being comes from that crucible and that loss and the pain and the suffering, but recognizing there's a gift in there.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you? I'm always curious. Those two words, every guest that I have on, what does that mean to you? How do you live a life Everforward?
I think it means to me what we've been talking about, and to stay in the fight and keep doing the thing that you feel is moving the needle forward in your life, because you can't afford not to, right?
Yeah.
What time in a life, how are you going to look yourself at the end of the day in the mirror or in all your actions, and especially maybe looking back at all your own personal content, like, dude, what have I done with my life, or how have I tested myself? And I think without that test or without that contrast, you're not going to have that happiness and that fulfillment of striving. I think striving is the better thing, not necessarily missing the accomplishment that you were aiming for, but striving, because you're going to learn so much in that. So to me, it means stay in the fight, keep moving forward, so that you can look at yourself and tell yourself that you are a worthy human being. You deserve this life. You deserve to be happy. You've earned all of these things.
Hell yeah. Absolutely, man. Dude, obviously going to have all of your information down in the show notes and video notes for everybody, but like, where can they go right here, right now to learn more about you and what you got going on?
I'm active on social media, Instagram, JL Guadarrama. The spelling now will probably make it easier.
Well, just click the notes. It'll be
click
easy.
the notes. It'll be there. And hopefully I can provide a little bit of motivation and help. If I ever want to talk, let me know.
And the new gym is
Sorta HQ.
Sorta HQ, and that's in Hawthorne, right?
In Hawthorne. Come visit, have fun. We got a quarter pipe, we got a mini ramp, we got a bunch of toys.
Dope,
it's
man.
like Fantasy Factory. Super
Fantasy
fun.
Factory meets fitness.
Yes.
Fitness Factory.
Fitness Factory.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for coming on, man.
Dude,
it's been a
thank
pleasure.
you. Appreciate you.